Good morning, children. You already know that social studies have 4 parts: history, economics, geography and civics. So we have already completed 1 chapter in history, 1 chapter in geography, 1 chapter in economics. Now we move on to the democratic politics, that is civics. In civics also we have 5 chapters. In chapter 1, what is democracy, why democracy? In chapter 2, constitutional design. In chapter 3, electoral politics. Chapter 4, working of institutions. And chapter 5, democratic rights. Today we move on to the chapter 1, what is democracy and why democracy. So before that we have to learn the definition of democracy. So democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. This is the definition of the democracy. So we know that 2 types of government are there. One is monarchical government, one is democracy. Monarchical means ruled by the king and democracy means elected by the people. Is it clear? Now we move on to the lesson. What is democracy? You have already read about different forms of government on the basis of your understanding of democracy so far. Mentioning a few examples, write down some common features of democratic governments, non-democratic governments. That is, monarchical are ruled by the king. These are all the 2 types of governments we have. Is it clear? So before we proceed further, let us first take note on an objection by Mary. She does not like this way of defining democracy and wants to ask some basic questions. Her teacher Matilda Lido responds to her questions as other classmates join the discussions. So before that, the Mary want to clarify the things. So she don't like this type of government. So she want to argue with it. So that discussion is going on in the class. So Mary asked, Ma'am, I don't like this idea. First we spend time discussing democracy and then we want to find out meaning of democracy. I mean, logically we shouldn't have approached it the other way round. Shouldn't time meaning have to come first and then example? She don't like this idea. Understood? Mary is telling to ma'am, she don't like this idea. So first we should spend some amount of time to discuss about all those things. After that, one way we can approach them or we can find the meaning for that. Okay. Then madam is answering, I can see your point. But that is not how we reason in everyday life. We use words like pen, rain and love. Do we wait to have a definition of these words before we use them? Come to think of it, we do have clear definition of these words. These words, it is only by using the word that we understand its meaning. Right? Everything we cannot find the definitions for that. That madam is telling, everything we cannot find the definitions. So just you take the example of pen, rain and love. We are using these words, but we are not waiting for this definition. We are not finding the definitions for this. So just we are using that word, we don't have a clear definition for that. So we are using to understand its meaning, that's all. Again, the Mary is telling, but then why do we need definitions at all? So if we don't have definitions for these words, why we need to know the definitions for all those things? So we need definitions only when it come across a difficulty in the use of a word. We need definitions of rain only when we use the distinguish it from, say, drizzle or cloudburst. The same is true for democracy. We need a clear definition only because people use it different purposes, because very different kinds of governments call themselves democracy. So whenever is necessary, we can learn that one. But some definitions we cannot find it. But when we are using the word rain, we can be distinguished it from. That it is a cloudy, it is a cloud burst, or it is drizzle. Like that, we can say that one. In the same way, we need a clear definition only because of the people are using this word in a different way, different purposes. Okay. Next, Ribyang is asking, but why don't we need to work definitions? Why we need to work on this? Why do we need to work on this? The other day, you quoted Abraham Lincoln to us, democracy is a government of the people, by the people and for the people. We in Meghalaya always ruled ourselves. That is accepted by everyone. Why do we need change that? So Ribyang is asking, so why do we need to work definitions? Why do we need all these definitions? Why we want this definition and why we want to go for this? See, you only told one day democracy means for the people, by the people and of the people. That was, Abraham Lincoln was stated like this. So, why we want to accept this? In Meghalaya, we have already in a different type of government. Why we want to change that government to democratic government? Why it is necessary? He is asking. I am not saying we need to change it. The definitions were very beautiful, but we don't know if this best way of defining unless we think about it ourselves. We must not accept something just because of its famous, because of its everyone's accept. I cannot say that you have to accept it. But you need not to accept only for the purpose of people are accepting or we are accepting. No, it is your wish whether you are accepting or not. Then Yolanda, she is asking, ma'am, can I suggest something? We don't need to look for any definition. I read somewhere that a word democracy comes from the Greek word demokratia. In Greek, demos means people and kratia means rule. So democracy is the rule by the people. This is the correct meaning. Where is it need to debate? So that girl is telling, see, I heard somewhere I read that one. So definition I read it. What is the democratic? Democratic is a word derived from the Greek word. That is demo means demons mean people and kratia means rule. So that is the democracy means ruled by the people. What is there to make these definitions and why we want to be confused all those things? She is asking that. Then the madam, that is also a very helpful way of thinking about this matter. I would just say that does not always work. A word does not remain tried its origin. Just think of computers. She was giving the example of computers. See, one word will not be stand in all the way, all the countries. They may change. It is your wish whether you want to change or not. That is for your wish. So, computer we are using for the calculating. Before we are using only for calculation. But now we are using for designing, for listening to music, watching films. The same word, it remains the same, but their meaning can change with time. In that case, it is necessary to useful look at the origins of a word. Mary ma'am, so basically what you are saying is that there is a shortcut to our thinking about the matters ourselves. We have to think about its meaning and evolve a definition. Madam, you got me right. Let us go on with it now. See, now you can understand what is that one. So once we are going through with the debate, so everybody is having their own ideas about the word or a sentence or a definition. So this discussion was held in the class. So everybody, they are giving their own opinions. Right? Their own opinions. So then finally, everybody will accept the definition. Yes, we have to move on to this and we should go through deeply with this. What is the shortcut if we are thinking? That is in a one way. And if you go to the deep, we can know the meaning of the democracy perfectly. Okay. Now the simple definition. Let us go back to our discussion on similarities and differences among governments that are called democracies. A simple factor common to all is the government is chosen by the people. We could thus start with a simple definition. Democracy is a form of government elected by the people. Is it clear? No. The features of the democracy. Some features are there. In that only they are mentioning before that they are mentioning what type of democracies that is ruling governments are there. See, this is useful starting point. This definition allows to separate democracy forms of government that clearly not democratic, that army rules of Myanmar were not elected by the people. So, what they are telling in Myanmar, Now, features of democracy. The rulers is a dictatorship. Election, democratic government. The people who can elect leaders. And form of government, democratic and non-democratic government. So, major decisions by elected leaders. See, in Pakistan, 1999, led by military coup. Okay. So, in Pakistan, General Pervez Musharraf led a military coup in 1999. He overthrew a democratically elected government and declared himself the chief. So, he was the president. He designated himself as a president for 5 years. That is the legal framework order. In 2002, the legal framework order that he was president of the Pakistan. But 2002 held a referendum in the country that granted him a 5-year extension. Pakistan media, human rights organization and democracy activists said that the referendum was based on the malpractices and fraud. On August 2002, he issued a legal framework order that amendment Constitution of Pakistan. According to this order, the president can be dismissed the national and provincial assemblies. Understood? After this 2002, the national assemblies and the provincial assemblies were dismissed. And the work of civilian cabinet supervised by the national officers, that is general military, that is under the military government, but the national provinces and assemblies, the work of civilian cabinet is supervised by the national security. After passing this law, elections were held to the national provincial assemblies, so Pakistan had elections. Elected representatives have some powers, but the final power rested with the military officers. That means, if everybody is elected also, the final power will be with the elected officers only. So, whatever the work, whatever the decisions they want to take is, they have to take the permissions of the president only. They cannot take the decision without the permission of the president. Clearly, there are many reasons why Pakistan under General Musharraf should not be called democracy. But let us focus on one of these. Can we say that the rulers are elected by the people in Pakistan? Not quite. People may have elected their representatives to the national and provincial assemblies, but those elected representatives were not really rulers. They cannot take the final decisions. The power to take final decision rested with army officials and with the General Musharraf, and none of them were elected by the people. That means this was already, it is not a democratic country. Pakistan is not a democratic country. It is under the president rule, that is military rule. He was the military person. Pervez Musharraf was a military general. So he ruled the country. So everything, whatever decisions they want to take, they have to take the permission of the general. So it is not say that it is a democratic country, right? Because they don't have a power to take any of the decisions. How can we say that it is a democratic country? So they formally have an elected parliament and government, but the real power real power is not in the hands of the people. Those who are elected also, they cannot take any decision without the permission of the General Musharraf. Is it clear? General, that he is the president of the Pakistan. That is the reason we cannot say that this is the democratic country. So this gives us the first feature. In a democracy, final decision making power must rest with those elected by the people. Is it clear? Now, free and fair elections competitions. See now, free and fair electoral competition. In China, elections are regularly held after 5 years for electing the country parliament, called Kutanguo Renmin Dayabio. That is, to our National People's Congress. The National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country. It has nearly 3,000 members elected from all over China. See, this National People Congress is there, no? That was elected by the 3,000 members. See, that National People Congress all over the China, there were 3,000 members were there. These members has to elect the candidate there. They have to take the approval of these 3,000 members to contest in the election. Is it clear? See, to contest the election, they should take the permission of 3,000 members in National Congress all over China. These 3,000 members were there. Before contesting in the elections, candidate needs to take the approval, need to take the permission of the Communist Party. Is it clear? Permission of the Communist Party. Since its independence 1930, Mexico holds elections after every 6 years. Next we move on to, this is the system in China. Next we move on to this Mexico. Since 1930, 6 years once, the elections were held in the Mexico. The country has never been under military or director's rule. But until 2000, every election was won by the party called PRI, that is Institutional Revolutionary Party. See, since 1930, 6 years once, the elections were held in the Mexico. But it is not under the military rule or dictator's rule. Till 2000, ruled by PRI, that is Institutional Revolutionary Party. But the opposition parties never contest in the elections. They never manage to win. So every time these party will contest in the elections, they used to win the elections. Understood? See, why it is not, it is like this, the dirty tricks of elections. Because of these dirty tricks of elections, these people, they never used to win the elections. So these are not fair elections, right? See, what is the dirty tricks that there means? All those who were employed in government offices had to attend its party meetings. Teachers of government schools used to force parents to vote for PRI. Media largely ignored the activities of opposition political parties except they criticized them. Sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in the last minute, which made it difficult to people to cast their votes. PRI spent a large sum of money in the campaign for its candidates. See how I told you this is not the fair elections. So what trick they were using in the election is they don't have any freedom. Understood? They don't have any freedom to contest in the election. If they are contest in the people are contesting the elections also. Opposition parties did contest the elections but never managed to win. They are not allow them to win the elections. How they are not allowing means the government offices, the government workers has to attend the meeting. Understood? They have to attend the meetings. Teachers of the government schools, they should go to everyone's house and they are telling them, you have to vote only for the PRI party, not to the other parties. And they should pay for them for casting their vote. In the last moment, they used to shift the booths. If the booths are shifting, people, they cannot go there and casting their vote, right? So the vote, automatically the vote will reduce the number of votes and definitely this party will win. This is the tricks they were using and at the time of election. Is it clear? Should we consider this election described above as an example of the fair election? No, we cannot consider this. Reading these examples, we get a sense that we cannot. There are many problems here. In China, the elections does not offer people any serious choice. They have to choose the ruling party and the candidate approved it. Can we call this a choice? In the Mexican example, people seem to really have a choice, but in practice they have no choice. There is no way to ruling party could be defeated. Even if people were against it, there are not fair elections. These are all the problems in all the China or Mexico or in any other parties. They have these problems in these countries. Next, what they did, one person, one vote and one value. Earlier, we read about how to struggle for democracy were linked to the demand of universal this. So, democracy must be based on free and fair elections where those currently in power has a fair choice of losing. That we can read in the lesson number 3 more detailed about this. Is it clear? We can read on this one vote one value. We can read in the clearly in the lesson number 3. See, until 2015, women did not have right to vote in Saudi Arabia. See, in Saudi Arabia, until 2015, women did not have a right to vote. In Estonia, has made citizenship rules such a way that people belonging to Russian minority find it difficult to get the right to vote. In Estonia, what happened? They made the citizenship. The people belonging to in Russian minority, they are difficult to get the right to vote. Understood? They were difficult to get the right to vote. In Fiji, electoral system, it is more value than Indian Fijian. That means the Fiji more value than the electoral system such that vote an indigenous Fiji has more value than that a Indian Fijian. Democracy based on a fundamental principle of political equality that gives the third feature of democracy. In a democracy, each adult must have one vote, each must have one value. That means everybody have vote, there is a value for that vote. If one vote is missing also, he may lose his majority. That is the reason every vote is very valuable votes. Is it clear? Shall we move on to the next? Next is, they are speaking about the Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe attained independence from white minority rule in 1980. Since then, the country has been ruled by ZANU-PF, the party that led the freedom struggle. Its leader, Robert Mugabe, ruled the country since independence. Elections were held regularly and always won by ZANU-PF. President Mugabe was popular but also used unfair practices in election. Over the years, his government changed the constitution several times to increase the powers of the president and make him less accountable. Opposition party workers were harassed and their meeting disrupted. Even in Zimbabwe, same problem what in China they were facing, the same problem here also they were facing. See, independence since 1980, the ZANU-PF was the party that was freedom struggle for the leader. So Robert Mugabe ruled country. He always won the elections. Why? Because of the unfair practices. What I told you, they are taking this, they are making the compulsory to vote only for this party. These are all the unfair practices. That also was there in this Zimbabwe also. See, those who are standing against to them, they are contesting against to them, they were harassed. They are giving some trouble for the people, those who are contesting in the elections against to them. Even public protests, the demonstrations against the government were declared illegal. If the public people, they were make some protest against to the government, that they are declared, the government is declared as it is illegal. You should not do it. It is not according to the legal ones. So they are not allow them to do any of the protest against to the government. Some illegal activities also they are not, and they are encouraging them. And TV, radio, they are controlled by the government. Whatever they want to telecast on the television, they have to take the permission with the government. Even in the radio, if they want to broadcast something, they have to take the permission of the government. That is, it is under the control of the government only. Even in the newspapers and journalists, if they are went against to their rule, or if they ignored, or they will punish them. Understood? They are pressured. If they will go for court to take the good decision. They were pressurized the judges. You should give the judgment on the behalf of the government. You should not go against to that. Like that, they are forcing them to give the judgment towards the government and against to their decisions. Judiciary whose orders are obeyed everyone, we shall read more about in the rights in the chapter 5. Similarly, there are some conditions that apply to the way of government is run after the elections. A democratic government cannot whatever it likes simply because he won the election. It has a respect some basic rules. In particular, it has a respect some guarantees to the minorities. Every major decision has to go through the series of consultations. Every office bearer has certain rights and responsibilities assigned by the Constitution and the law. Each of these is accountable not only the people but also other independent officials. We shall read more about in this one in the chapter 4. What happened on all these governments, this is not fair. Right? So what they have to do when we are electing by the people, so in our country, if they want to take any of the decision, they should consult the parliament elected people. If everybody is accepted, then only they can implement that rules in the country. Is it clear? That way we have to run the government. We cannot do as we wish. As we wish, if you are, what is that? That is a dictatorship. So that is one man show. If we are elected by the people, we are sending the people to the parliament. We are sending the people to the legislative assembly. That is MLAs and MPs were there. We are selecting MPs from by the people itself. So when they are sitting in that place, if any decisions is taken by the Prime Minister of our country, he has to take the decision. He has to put their decision in front of the people. If everybody is accepted, then that amendment or whatever he want to do, he can take the decision of that. Until and unless he cannot take the decision without the acceptance of these parliament members. Even opposition party also they have to accept. Understood? They have to accept that rule. They may say they may not accept. Then they will take the majority. For example, we have 545 seats, right, in our country. So one rules he has to implement here. At the time he has to take the decision. He cannot, he has to take the decision with everyone. He has to ask their opinion. If difference of opinion is there with everyone, it is not possible. If 300 people are accepting, 245 is not accepting, another 245 are not accepting, then they will take the majority of the people, how many are accepted, then they will implement that rule in the country. That is the system of democracy. This we will read in the lesson 4. Understood? Tomorrow we will continue the summary of division and why democracy. Is it clear? Thank you, children.